All right, we're back on this Tuesday evening. It's Weather for Weather Geeks time. And actually, in what is seemingly a pretty quiet weather pattern, we actually have some interesting things to talk about for the next couple of days, including a brief spell of heat and a couple of opportunities for some heavy, gusty thunderstorms as well. Boy, it's a nice evening out there. Just before sunset this evening, the dew points are about 8 degrees lower than they were at the same time yesterday. You know, it got pretty sweltering outside Monday afternoon with temperatures in the 80s and dew points in the lower 70s at times, but dew points have been backing out of the 60s and into the 50s over the last 24 hours. And anytime we talk about dew points in the 50s at this time of the year, hey, we're doing pretty well. But nationally, the big weather story on this Tuesday evening is, of course, the heat. Now that Hillary is no longer much of an issue for the western U.S., it is the heat that is building across the middle of the country underneath an enormous ridge of high pressure. Millions upon millions under excessive heat warnings, heat advisories, and excessive heat watches. I mean, the numbers are pretty impressive when you look at it from a population standpoint. And when we look at the real estate covered by all of these heat products, as nearby as central and southern and western Ohio, we have excessive heat watches out, excessive heat warnings from Minneapolis all the way to the Gulf Coast and back towards Dallas, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Omaha, places like that, all under excessive heat warnings. And at this early evening hour, the heat index 108 in St. Louis, 109 in Des Moines. Look at Minneapolis, 111, matching that 111 in Topeka, Kansas. That's some hot stuff. You know, it's not record-shattering as far as the actual temperatures go, but it's pretty uncomfortable and dangerously hot for some populations across the middle of the country. Real quickly, since we haven't done Weather for Weather Geeks since Thursday, recap of the rain totals from Hillary out west. This went pretty much as advertised, with a deluge in places like Los Angeles and around Las Vegas, especially to the west of Las Vegas. Death Valley, California got a year's worth of rain in 24 hours. Over 2 inches of rain there. Parts of the LA basin got 3, 4, 5 inches or so worth of rain. And this, of course, extended up into the Sierra Nevada mountains, encompassing a good part of western and central Arizona as well. And the Pacific Northwest has gotten in on the action as well. But what's left of Hillary is off the playing field pretty much at this point. All right, back here at home, as we go into our Wednesday, not going to be able to rule out a passing shower or a thunderstorm, especially maybe around midday on Wednesday. Doubt there's much severe weather with this, but a gusty breeze, something that can't be ruled out with this. I think there's going to be more dry time than wet time on Wednesday, but we're going to have to allow for that chance of a shower or storm. What is more interesting is what happens later Wednesday night and first thing, and I mean first thing, Thursday morning. This could be a wee hours of the morning kind of a thing, Thursday morning, with a potential, as this warm front continues inching northward, the potential is there for some gusty, heavy, drenching thunderstorms to bow off of Lake Erie and then kind of bow to the south-southwest across parts of Ohio and extreme western Pennsylvania. Now, this is going to be a really hard thing to model. This is not going to be something that we're going to be able to predict with a lot of certainty until probably about this time tomorrow evening. It's going to be one of those things that just the computer models can't resolve these kinds of potential situations real well with these kinds of setups. But the potential is there later on tomorrow night, first thing Thursday morning, for a gusty storm. The bulk of Thursday, though, probably dry. Maybe there's a passing shower or storm in the afternoon, but maybe a better chance than Thursday night into the wee hours of Friday morning of a couple of gusty storms around. That should be the last of any sort of strong storm threat for a while, because we'd probably dry things out Friday and stay that way through most of the upcoming weekend. So the severe weather risk might peak Thursday morning very early, between 3 and 7 a.m. With their Day 3 outlook today, the Storm Prediction Center has us in the low-end Level 1 risk. They might define a Level 2 slight risk with tonight's update when this becomes Day 2. Because, of course, don't forget these daily outlooks cover the day and night. So Day 2, that forecast when it's issued tonight at about 1 a.m. on Wednesday, that will cover Thursday and Thursday night, all the way to 7 a.m. Friday morning. So, anyway, the Day 3 outlook has us in the Level 1 risk, and I think the risk is highest mostly before daybreak on Thursday. After that, here comes the heat. Temperatures maybe pushing 90, and the heat index probably pushing into the mid-90s Thursday afternoon. Now, we might have some debris clouds around for a while that might prevent the temperature from getting as hot as it could. But if we go into just sunny skies for a few hours on Thursday, wow, is it going to get hot? Probably even a little more uncomfortable than it was on Monday. But thankfully for us in our part of Ohio, in western PA, this will be a pretty brief period of heat. They're going to suffer in Cincinnati longer. It's a few days worth of high heat. Even Columbus will be pretty hot over the next handful of days. For us, it's basically Thursday and to some extent Friday. Friday's not as hot, not as oppressive, but still kind of uncomfortable with heat index values well up into the 80s. And then the heat and humidity will be a non-story for the upcoming weekend. Should be a beautiful day for Panerathon coming up on Sunday in downtown Youngstown. And as we look ahead to the longer range, and this of course takes us through Canfield Fair time, Labor Day weekend time, it doesn't look like a cool pattern. It doesn't look like an excessively hot pattern for us. I would expect at this point the weather around Labor Day weekend, around the Canfield Fair, to be kind of typical of early September. That's the way it looks right now. Today's only Tuesday, August 22nd, so we've got plenty of time to iron out that forecast. Hopefully we don't have any flooding and tornadoes this year at the fair. Last year on Sunday, a fair weekend, we had that EF0 tornado in Boardman and 3, 4, 5 inches worth of rain in a few hours across parts of our area. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of that this year. That'll do it for me tonight on Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you right back here on Wednesday.